so tired. Hello and welcome back to the Long Dark. This is how to beat the bear challenge. And we're going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, little disclaimer. This is the way I did it, but there's infinite ways to do it. Okay? So, the first thing you'll notice is right after the bear attack, I collected berries and some wood. The reason I did that was because you never know when your next opportunity to get any food is going to be, or wood, or whatever, okay? Another main important thing is that you make sure that you keep your pack as light as you can tolerate it. It's not about gathering materials, it's not about that. This challenge is making sure that you're mobile and that you get supplies that sustain you. For example, water and food and shelter. And you're going to need warmth or, the ability to cook or make water. So keep that in mind, that the rest of it is superfluous. The last and most important point, well, not most important, but one of the most important points is that you have to maintain your clothing, because the clothing you get at the beginning is total crap. Total crap. So, searching for clothes, looking for what the best you can get, maintaining it as you go, that's what you're going to be doing because of the new system they set up. Looky, I got an axe. Got a can opener. This is a great place. I didn't know about it. Thank you for one of my viewers who told me, hey, you dumb. Look, there's a basement. You must get in the basement. What's in here is critical to your success. I've tried and failed many times, and at critical junctions, if I'd had this item, I would have been alright. And that item is the flare gun. So go through everything and see what you got. At first you're going to keep everything, and it's okay to keep everything because your pack has like nothing in it. It's crazy. Anyway, I'm doing a voiceover because I wanted to concentrate while I was doing this challenge, and talking and doing at the same time for me it's like chewing a walking gun. Some people are good at it, Anyway, so this is a voiceover, and right now the difficulty you have at the very beginning of the game is that you're vulnerable to hypothermia. You're also vulnerable to dying because you're such a low percentage. You start the game out, you've got to build, but you cannot stay in one place too long. Alright, so I'm going through the pack right now, and you can see I've already have a pair of ruined pants, but I have a pair of jeans that I can put on, and a new vest, and that fleece sweater is not going to be as good as the wool sweater, I think, once we fix it. So you have to make decisions like this. Another recommendation, don't travel at nighttime if you can help it, but it's not always possible. You have to take a good opportune moment to travel. But first, you have to be able to kind of build your strength up just a little bit, and you're going to do that through the rest or pastime system. Getting this down pat will really help you in the long run. Now, how to master the system is you have to time passing time and resting so that you end up with a resting that you're able to wake up completely 100% refreshed and 100% on as much as you can get done. So you kind of play, you'll sleep 4 hours, you'll pass time a couple of hours, blah blah blah. You can pass the time if you have nothing better to do. Meaning that those down times, you should be sewing your clothes. You should be examining your pack, getting rid of anything that is useless. And all this. Remember, you're not gathering material for setting up somewhere. You're not going to be doing that. And if you're watching this, this is kind of spoiler alerts, okay? You're going to see gameplay. You're going to see what happens when you win or win this section. Remember, this is part 1. So there is going to be it's very intense. Let's just put it that way. And don't get I got cocky because I thought, oh hey, yeah, I played this game a million times. I can do this. This is not a walk in the park by any stretch, and a lot of luck is involved. So yeah, this is a lot about timing, how the weather is. Let me give you some facts that I didn't learn till it was too late. Number 1, this bear does not respect blizzards. Most of the time, if you go out on a blizzard, the wildlife is disappeared. At least I found that to be true. I'm talking about predators, wolves and bears. I didn't see any other bears in this game. I think there's just this one badass bear, okay? You are not going to be afforded any protection from storms. And so that's number 1. You can travel in storms, don't get me wrong. You can do that and maybe it'll help. But the only thing I found that the storms did was impede your running and getting away from something. It didn't seem to bother him any. Okay. All right, this is the crafting system, which is cool because you don't need a workbench for these little things. You can make torches as long as you have the fuel, the cloth, and the reclaimed wood. I'm using the downtime right now. There's 10 hours of darkness. Don't travel at night unless it's an opportune moment, okay? And I'll show you. We haven't shifted locations yet. This is when you're vulnerable. I took the maps because I knew where I was. I was on Ski Ridge. I have a map, and I look. Where is the next location within running distance? All right, because your running distance is going to determine where you're going to run to. All right. So on the map, the next location is going to be the Draft Dodgers cabin. That's the next closest place to run to. All right. The obstacle is going to be the rocks and how to get down safely while he's on your tail. All right. Or he's already gone there. I don't understand how it works, but yeah, you're about to see. Okay. Right now, I'm using my downtime. I'm repairing all the clothes. It was an extra bedroll, and I used that for cloth. I kept the better one. And now we're repairing clothes. This is part of what you need to do in the downtime. Otherwise, you're going to freeze. You're going to suffer hypothermia, which is just as deadly as a bear if you let it get to you because you have to stay indoors. Another critical factor here is food. You are prompted to move to the next area, whether you like it or not, because your food is limited. You don't have any weapons to do any hunting. You're going to be lucky if you find a deer. You know, grab that meat off of it if you have an opportunity to do it safely. All right? Because he's coming after you. If he sees you, he will run toward you and attack you. That's what he does. And so you've got to combine stealth with, I don't know, using your human brain to outsmart him. So anyway, as you can hear, that's a storm brewing. It's still the middle of the night. And you're like, okay, now it's time to rest. You got 4 hours of darkness left. So Gonna try to rest as much as possible. Let's see what it affords me. Alright, we have an hour left of darkness. So, gotta do something. We're only at 45%. But that's a great improvement over the, what, we started out with like 7 or whatever. Okay, let's check our pack one more time and see what we got going here. We can eat. You're not going to stay with a full belly. You're going to have to med out your food as you go. Just kind of regulate it. And eat as little as possible to keep your stomach from growling. And try to keep hydrated. That's really important. The only benefit to having a full stomach is that you have a lighter pack. So keep that in mind. Alright, we've got 13 hours. No, everybody knows that the first hour of daylight is not really daytime, as you can barely see. So we are going to rest, but we're not tired. See, I was learning. So it's like, okay, what do I do? Pass the time. Alright, now rest an hour. This is tricky. This is real tricky. You can't do it. It's hard to do it in big chunks too. So right now, we're fully rested. We're only at 48%. Nothing we can do about it. And we have our flare gun. Another critical thing.
I hate snow if the hypothermia wouldn't kill me.
Try to keep it loaded. Now we're leaving. This is our first transition. Wish us luck. Okay. He's behind me. I can hear him. So run. Run between these rocks. Our location is the Draft Dodger's cabin. I'm sure you've been up this place many times. Alright? Now, he can't get you on these rocks. So take it slow and easy. Climbing down. This is something we were able to do at Timberwolf. So, climb straight across, hug the rock. I know there was nothing beneath us, but I guess we're rock climbing a little bit. Alright, now, go down this incline as sideways as you can so you don't fall and hurt yourself. Like that. Yeah, big mistake. Knocked off a bunch of my gained percentage points. So now we can't run because we're hurt. We can't stop to treat the wound because he's on us. He is on you. He's trying to get to you. He's trying to kill you. Alright? I don't see him. Don't see him, and we're not blurry, so we're hurt. So, don't make that mistake. Do run as sideways as you can to get down. Now, this is important, critical importance. Get these rose hips, because you're going to need them if you don't have any painkillers. Okay? It's also 100 calories. It's also water. We love these little berries, so if you can get them safely, do so. If he's screaming down at you, just get in the house. Okay. Now, the first thing you need to do when you get to the Draft Dodger's cabin, because you are so naked, you need to get rid of your hypothermia, treat the wounds, all this kind of stuff if you have that ability. Every pack is random, so you may start out with different things than I did and be able to solve your problems easier. Alright? Right now I'm looking for anything that will help me recover. I need water. There we go. Solves one problem. Alright. We're cold and so we're in the cabin. I don't know what I would, I just like, just rest. This is the best solution to a lot of problems. Some of the injuries like minor bruising or sore ankles or whatnot can be solved by sleeping. Okay. Oh, yummy. Dusty dog food. Yay. Thanks, Fido. Thanks for the grub. We love dog food. Yum. Okay, so you see, we have no food unless we can find some. Yay, winter coat. Yes, 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 yes. Look at this. Alright, we're going to be able to work on our clothes a little bit. Now remember, we're not moving in, we're not living here. We're harvesting this place for the things that we need and what can serve us. It's kind of hard to see at first because you have no light source except for your matches. Nothing. Oh well. Okay, break down these crates. This is a good source of wood. You're gonna need wood. Up until the point that it weighs your pack down. Don't let it do that. You don't need it that much. We got lucky. We got an axe. But you can break up any of the crates with your hands. You don't need a tool. But if you have a hatchet, you can break down the bench, or you can break down the chair. You can break down a lot, you know, anything that you can break down. So you're going to need it because at this stage, our most critical necessity will be to make water. And we're going to make the rosehip tea if we can. Now, what I have found is that, you hear him? He's up there to your left. And there is, luckily, tons of rabbits up there. So that'll keep him busy. You're going to hear him screaming or whatever, but right now we need to make water. Plus you need to practice making your fire because your fire skills are at big fat 0 again. Listen, you hear him? He's chasing rabbits. There you go. This is an opportune time to run. This I learned later. When he's killing rabbits and eating, he is busy. You can take it and gain the few extra seconds you'll need to run. Right now, we're not going anywhere till we get some water. And I'm making it because I wasn't sure if I got stuck between my next location. Now, at this point, you have 2 opportunities. Oh, great. Storm brewing. Hope it doesn't blow my fire out. Make as much water as you can carry. This will prolong your time if there's a storm at a certain location. It will give you extra time. Some of the things I did were totally useless later. You know, it was like, what do I need to do that for? But you do what you need to do, okay? You don't know under your own circumstances. You're going to have to use your own judgment. Okay. So, that was a good little fire making session. We increased our fire skill. We got to make our rosehip tea, which is a painkiller to get rid of one of our wounds. The other one, the sprained wrist, we can get rid of by sleeping. We were also able to cook the little deer meat we had on us. And we had the ability to make water. Now, there is a little bit extra water that I wasn't able to do because the wind kind of blew out the fire, or was getting that way anyway. So, remember, just be stingy with your food unless it affects your pack weight. I really wasn't that obsessed with the pack weight at the beginning. I didn't, you know, because it's low, obviously, but I didn't realize until later that it became critical. It was like, you know what? You're slowing yourself down with all this crap. You want to be lean, mean, running machine. Alrighty, so let's check out our clothes real quick. Downtime. We're going to put on our new warm coat. We need to assess each thing to see what's the warmest option. One of the problems I had was determining or trying to remember, because I used to wear the wool clothes or the clothes that I made, but you don't have that opportunity. So it took me a while to remember. just because something is lower doesn't mean it can't be higher if it's repaired. So this is something you have to kind of read the description on each item of clothing and say, okay, this fleece sweater is obviously when you wear it, it replaces the thin wool sweater. But the thin wool sweater is better. But it's at 100%. So it's like, well, you know, you don't want to put on this sweater because it's less, obviously. And so when you have two pieces of item that you can only wear one, two factors: condition and read the description to see if it could be better. You know, maybe you've got a fantastic coat at 20% and it's crap now, but if you repaired it to 100%, it would be better than what you're wearing, if you understand what I'm saying. So keep the best one by the description. The wool is better. If it says super duper whatever, repair it if you have time to see what is the best option for you, because it's going to increase your clothing bonus. This is critical. It is critical, because you're not always going to be sleeping in a house. Maybe, you know, you'll see what I'm talking about and a little bit later. Anyway, now the boots, those are pretty good, but we don't have any shoe leather. That's something we're going to keep an eye out for. Can we find some boots to do the leather? Alright, so getting us down to bare necessities and harvesting cloth and recycling them into the new stuff, and that's going to be awesome. Alrighty, just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it. You can't travel today because we are injured and we are not even close to 100% or anything. A goal that you have is to try to be 100% before you travel, because even if he catches you, you still have a chance to survive it. But during the first few transitions to another place, you can't do that. You can't afford to do it. You're going to run out of food. You're not going to be 100% at the beginning of this challenge. So this is the most critical time to be cautious and so now I'm going through my pack and seeing what I've got. You know, what have I got to work with? Is there anything that I can improve or make better or whatever to serve me in my downtime? Alright, so the only thing to do right now is try to rest. You got 3 hours of daylight left. The days of sleeping for 8 hours and waking up refreshed in the morning, or sleeping 12 hours and being 100% when you wake up, those days are over. There we go. Okay, listen to the weather. We've got a storm going. And you're thinking, when can I leave? When can I get to the house? You know, I'm going to tear down the curtains. I'm going to tear down as much of the furniture as I can. If you don't have an axe, you obviously will have to leave sooner because you have less water and food. Unless you're willing to run out and try to pick up some sticks and stuff, that's an option. But I wouldn't recommend it, since there's a bear out there, and if he sees you, he's going to be between you and the cabin. Because there's a railing around it that protects you. However, it also will get you, you know, trapped. So you have to be careful. There is an exit on the right-hand side, but, you know, whatever. Okay, so now I'm gathering wood and cloth and all these things because I'm not sure if I will be able to make the house. The other option to go to, which is about equal distance away, is the barn. Now the problem with the barn is that there's wolves between you and it, and you don't have any protection. If a wolf gets you, he can kill you just as easy as the bear. That predator is still a threat. So this is the reason that I chose to go to the farmhouse, because I know how to get there and avoid wolves. Plus, there's very little obstacles on the river, and there is somewhat wind protection running through the rock formations on the river. So that's the reason I chose to run to the farmhouse. As you can hear, the storm has stopped. We're eating. Another lucky find was the can opener, because you don't have to smash your cans and lose, you know, I don't know, 16 to 17% maybe. So you get to keep most of your food. Alright, if you think you can't get worms and all this kind of stuff, you can. So try to stick to deer meat and canned goods or crackers, you know, that sort of thing, if you can find it. Of course, if you're starving, you have to eat wolf meat, then do so. But if you don't have to eat it, it's better not to, because if you get intestinal parasites, the only way to cure it is you have to take antibiotics over like a 10-day period, and this challenge is, at least my version of it, was only 10 days. So you would be sick with worms the entire time. So don't eat the wolf meat unless you absolutely have no choice. And you can eat up to a few pieces before you actually get the worms. It kind of is like you're getting sicker. Don't eat any more. You know, eat a couple, but you know, this is also a fact that will become important later. All right, I'm back up to 56%, but as you can see, it is still dark. But I'm running out of food. Boom. I ate my last candy bar, and I'm drinking up the water, and I'm going, you know, I'm in pretty good shape, a little bit hungry, but I got 6 hours of darkness. Not gonna want to travel with, you know, in the dark. You don't have the resources. You wouldn't even know, you wouldn't be able to see where you're running. You don't have a flare, you don't have a lantern, you don't have nothing. So you're forced at the beginning to travel during the day. So this is where the sleep and rest and pastime and thing becomes critical. To try to end up where you are waking up as 100% as possible to all your bars, as far as being rested. Resting, if you're not rested, you can't run. Oh boy, a storm. Alright. Now, hopefully we'll get lucky, and then maybe it'll be on our back, pushing us forward. If it's in front of us, keeping us from running, and it's a blizzard. But we have no choice. We have absolutely no choice, because of the mistake we made running down the hill, that we would have been in a definitely higher percentage. We could have left sooner. Checking one more time, is there anything I missed? Trying to decide, am I going to travel now? Am I going to go out in this blizzard? And I'm thinking, I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. So we're going to check it out and see what he's doing. Run. Run to the river. We got lucky. Look at it. It's blowing kind of sideways and behind us. So it's helping. If it had been blowing in the other direction, I probably would have suffered. He's right on you. You can't hear him or see him, but he is following you. Following you. Alright, take the first left into this passageway. What we're doing is we're coming up behind the farmhouse. you'll pass. See, I'm already cold. I'm getting cold. You can hear teeth chattering. Run a little bit. Rest a little bit. There's the bridge. You're going to pass under this bridge. And immediately, when you see an open area, you're going to go to the right. And we're making a run to the farmhouse. We're not stopping. We're not doing nothing. We're not going to even look behind us. Look, you've already got hypothermia setting in. Plus, this wind is damaging your clothes. That weren't that great to begin with. Alright, here we go. It's not that far. Not that far, but you can see that it's even past running distance. So you're going to have a gap between running. We don't have any coffee. We don't have ability to build it back up except to walk for a little bit. So this, I found, helped me. It's like I tried not to run. Okay, there's the house. Know where your target is. Do not get lost. If you get lost, you are in big trouble. Plot every section, and here we are. Whew. All right, you made it to the next transition. We've done 2 transitions. We went from the basement to the cabin, and now from the cabin to the farmhouse. You've got hypothermia. You should see a little red icon in the corner. It's not good. But it's not deep hypothermia, not the kind that you have to stay indoors for 24 hours, okay? You don't have that kind. But you have to be careful and make sure it doesn't deteriorate your condition. Yay, 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 yay. When you get to the farmhouse, the very first thing you need to look for is find the lantern. I found it every single time that I had to start over and come to the farmhouse. The normal places that it is one by the fireplace you saw. Right here is another place you'll find it, which is on this shelf. Okay, that's another location. The other location I found it was this bookcase right here by the bathroom. You find it there and on that shelf that was behind me that I just passed. Okay. Now you need to get, yay, lantern fuel. You need to get as much food, hopefully, that you can find here. Which is awesome. As much as possible. I like to get all the food at once so I can kind of say, okay, I need to eat this, that weighs more, this is better condition, blah, blah, blah. I find when I have all the food, I can make a better judgment as to what to eat and when to eat it. You got to be able to do that. You're looking for tinder, you're looking for fuel, you're looking for food. You obviously don't have to worry about cloth. This place is full of it. Or wood, so don't worry about that. Now, on the back porch, if you get extremely lucky, because this is something important that you've got to look for, is the crowbar. Because, and save your fuel. Oh, we got a jerry can. Alright, sometimes you get nothing back here, sometimes you get a nice juicy crowbar. Without a crowbar, obviously, we cannot get, if there's any lockers downstairs, they're going to be locked, we can't get into them. That's a matter of luck. So we're going to refuel our lamp. Thank you very much. Now we can also make the torches. Now, I made tons of torches. I'm looking for the bear. See if you can hear him. You hear him? He's already here. I can hear him. That's him. He has made it to the farmhouse. So, he's already caught up with you, and you're going to have to deal with him in order to get out of this house. Before you leave, you need to be in a good condition. Now, I know there's people who could probably do this challenge in, maybe 3 days or 4 days or whatever. It took me 10, I'll tell you that right now. It took me 10 days and a little over to do it where I felt comfortable doing the next transition, because the next part is probably, in my opinion, the most dangerous. There's another dangerous part coming up later, but this one to me was the most hard to get over. Because you have to take it in stages. And I'll tell you what the plot is from the farmhouse. The next nearest location is, because we're going to Mystery Lake. The connection is up there on the road behind, or the rock formation road behind the road by the lake. It's a pond. This is our location. Now, in running distance, there is one cave up there. It's you can go there, take a little rest, and then you're gonna run to the pond. And from the pond, you're gonna run to the cave. That's to get you out of Pleasant Valley. That's the stages. As you can hear, there's a storm raging. Use this time to gather whatever supplies you want to. Some of this stuff was just busy stuff, and I was just checking out. But you need to check everything. The reason is because in some of my games I found another flare gun shell. The flare gun will be your only defense against that stupid bear. A regular flare will only keep him from attacking you if you're waving it at him. If you turn around and start to run, he's going to follow you. It'll keep him from attacking for a short amount of time, but not a long time. So, look everywhere you can to see if you can find extra shell. An extra shell is going to give you extra time to get away. Because not all of the locations are as convenient and easily located as the farmhouse. Alright, more clothes.
Man, I'm not sure I can carry
more
much
food.
more.
I like to gather it all together and then assess it. So, being overloaded in the house is not a problem. Don't worry about that. But go through everything that you can. Yay, antibiotics! That's in case we have to eat wolf meat. And it's bad. Get the toilet water. Don't forget the toilet water. I look on the bathtubs because sometimes there's boots. What I'm on the hunt for right now is leather. Boot leather. Shoes that I can... Oh, no box there. That happens sometimes. Random spawning. You're looking for flares, you're looking for a flare gun, shells, you're looking for clothes, you're looking for food. Look at everything. You know all the hiding places. Look under the beds, look under the... I haven't found anything really hiding under the beds too much, except maybe scrap metal or clothing, I didn't find anything really critical. You're not going to find a weapon, other than you're going to need, this is important, later. One of the things you need to look for, yay, coffee. That's a critical item right there, coffee. That will give you energy to keep going and running. Okay? So, what I was going to say, one of the most important things that you need to get at this stage, at this house, is the lantern. And you've accomplished that. The second most important thing was the crowbar, so you can inspect more, but it's not critical. But it's helpful. It'll make things easier. But what you need, because we got lucky and we got an axe, we already have a weapon. But most of the time, you're not going to get that lucky. So, the next critical step that you have to take after we leave this farmhouse is we have to run to the road and get in the car. The car by the bridge usually has a knife in it. If you don't have an axe, you must get a knife. This is going to be critical later. It's the only place I found a knife. If you don't get the knife, you are not going to survive later. They strategically put weapons so where you have to visit certain places. Okay, so now in the downtime, what I'm doing is I'm assessing everything that I gathered. Clothing, you're going to harvest whatever you can, repair whatever you can to get the best possible clothing you can. I didn't find any boots, so unfortunately I didn't get any leather in this foray, but I haven't gone down to the basement yet. And going to the basement's a little bit tricky. Actually, going down isn't as hard as coming out because, you know, you've got a few seconds between the back door or the front door, depending on how you like to go down to the basement. Don't take the long way around. You only got a few critical seconds. You can get to the basement. You can get out of the basement and get back to the back porch or whatever. So you got to be thinking ahead. You have to think, how am I going to get in the basement? Do I have something to protect myself? Do I have the energy to run? You know, don't go in there try to go to the basement if you're tired, because you got to be able to run, even if it's only a few feet. So now we're assessing the winter items. We are checking, okay, what can I repair? Get it all up to 100%. You have nothing better to do. You can't sleep for 8 straight hours or 12 straight hours, so you're gonna have to work your pack. You know, use your skills. Use those skills that you know, sewing, because sometimes it's gonna fail. So keep sewing, keep sewing, keep sewing. Or keep harvesting or crafting or doing all the things that you can do to make your pack lean, strong, and light. Don't be carrying around a bunch of stuff. That makes you sluggish. You can't run. You can be running, but you'll run slow because you're so heavy. This is something I didn't learn till later, you know, and I'm like, God, I can't believe it. Why did I have so much crap in my pack? Why did I keep it at 66, you know? You can keep it at 40. Keep it as light as you possibly can. You get tired less, or it happens more slowly. You're faster. You require less recoup time. I mean, it is very critical to keep your pack low. I wish I had learned that at the beginning. It wouldn't have been as stressful. All right. Now I'm looking, and a lot of times when I'm just looking and fiddling, I'm thinking, oh God, you know, what is my next step? What am I going to do? Where should I go? Am I making a mistake? You don't get to make any mistakes. Nope. You make a mistake, you're dead. That's the truth. Alright, sounds like the storm has subsided. As you can see, we are at least 6 pounds overweight. Let's repair our pack. We are killing time. But trying to make the most of it. I hope you're going to enjoy this. I've decided to break it up into a few parts so this thing doesn't run too long. There's actually 4.5 hours of video that I recorded for this. So I'm going to break it up for you, but I'm keeping it as intact as possible. I'm not going to go, oh, do this and do that. I want you to see exactly every step and what I did. Because, you know, you can say, well, why'd you do that? Or why'd you do that? You could do it better than I did it. You know, I would say this is the minimum you need to do to be successful. You know, I was like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I do this? I made a lot of torches. I didn't need them, really. I didn't use them. So, don't hang on to lots of jerry cans and all that kind of stuff. You're really not going to need it. It's hard. It's really hard. You don't know what you're going to need. Just keep the minimum of everything. The things you need: food, water, protection from hypothermia, and a roof over your head so you can rest. You know, a safe place to sleep. And that's what you need to do. Have a little skill, have a little strategy, and know where you're going. I cannot stress this enough. Know where you're going next. Plot out your route. Plot out the fastest straight arrow way to get there. Or if you can think of a strategy, yeah. I had plotted before. I went up to the radio tower. I thought, oh, I'll run down the road. You saw where that got me. That got me in the first challenge. I posted it. You can see where I got nabbed trying to get up Signal Hill. I ran out of, you know, juice. And I couldn't do it. And he got caught up with me and he killed me. You know, I thought, what can I do? I can't make that run is too long. So what's next? There's a cave across, and I thought, well, wait a minute. You have to go to the car because that's the only place I found the knife. At least in that 99 times out of 100, I found the knife in the car. So you have to stop in the car. The reason is because when you get to the dam, you're gonna have to kill the mini boss, which is Fluffy. You cannot kill that dang thing with your bare hands. Forget it. He's got teeth, he's got claws, and he's pissed. So, you better have a weapon before you get to the dam. The only place I found it was one, the hatchet in the basement. Maybe you get it, maybe you don't. I didn't find it every time. Under the stairs, or wherever. And the second thing is the knife. The knife in the car, on the bridge. So, make sure you stop and get a weapon. Now, I made the mistake of thinking that if I had a crowbar, that would be enough to kill Fluffy. It's not. I had one and didn't even use it. So, I don't know. This game has been hot fixed. I wanted to mention that. For the third time, maybe? Second time? I don't know. The hot fix was... what is it now? Version 0.327. So they've hot fixed it twice. The last one wasn't major, but the one before that was, I think it has to do with cabin fever and being able to get rid of worms and all this kind of stuff. So it's not as critical in this challenge. So I'm not really... You can go to Hinterland or go to Steam, and they'll give you all the info on the hot fixes. They're little tweaks. There's nothing major that I can tell. Anyway, so practice your fire making skills when you have the opportunity. So when it's critical, you have it. Oh, look, this is the brand. This is what you pull out. This thing actually lasts surprisingly longer than I thought. Alright, we are going out onto the porch and see where the bear is. Because we want to go to the basement. I can hear him. I can hear him. going out yet. We still got stuff to do. Can you hear him? Where is he? Where is he? There he is. See, he caught up with us. He caught up with us. All he wants to do is eat rabbits and kill you. Yep. Anyway, so gonna end this part here. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck on your bear challenge. I hope this helped. We've got a few more parts to show you how to get through each stage. Seriously, I hope it helps you, because I would have loved to have some of these tips, because you know this is very intense and you got to have a plan. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Bye.